Hi, thanks for joining us. Today we are sitting down with Bill from Redefine Mortgage, and we're going to go over some of the top questions asked by our buyer clients that are lender questions, and let's see if we can get some answers to those. Thanks for joining us, Bill.
Of course.
So I want to dive right in here with the first question of what mortgage programs do you offer?
Yeah, so we offer all of your standard mortgage programs, so FHA, VA, and conventional loans for any kind of borrow, including USDA for some specialty, out-of-town type stuff. But really anything you can find that you need, we're here to take care of that.
Okay, that ties right into the next one. What are current interest rates, Bill? I know this is a big ask, but can you give us an idea where they are now and kind of what might be coming?
Yeah, definitely. So your average 30-year fixed mortgage rate just dipped below 7%, continuing to drop as we head kind of towards September and anticipated rate cuts from the Fed. So the ideal is that we're kind of falling into that high to mid 6% range for the near future.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So Bill, how much do I qualify for?
That's a great question, super nuanced. So if you're looking at what you qualify for, we have to factor in basically your entire life into a package. And so we're gonna wanna put in all of the details to find out what your qualification looks like, because it's super specific to you. And just to add into what you qualify for, it's also a matter of what you're comfortable with on your monthly payment, not just how much I could get for you.
Great. And then Bill, what are the fees and closing costs associated with a mortgage? This is such a common question we get.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of different fees and closing costs, from your title fees and appraisal to lender fees and escrow fees that you have to put up for your homeowner's insurance and your taxes depending on the property. So there's a lot of different factors that go into closing costs, but typically they average somewhere around $4,000 on the outside of escrow costs, and then escrow is very much dependent on insurance and taxes, which can vary extremely wide.
Okay, so in other words, there's some info there, but they should probably call you and get the specific details for that question.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to do all the research and give you some direct numbers based on your situation.
Now this next question is one of the most common we get asked. What is required for a down payment?
So down payments can vary widely depending on your situation, whether you're a veteran, a standard homeowner buying on an FHA loan. Typically those down payments are going to range anywhere from 0 for a veteran to a minimum down payment of 3% for a conventional borrower and 3.5% on FHA if you're a first-time homeowner. If you're not, you're looking somewhere closer to probably the 5% range.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Now, this next one is another pretty common question we get asked because a lot of people confuse it. What is the difference between a pre-qualification versus a pre-approval?
Yeah, definitely. There's a real simple distinction here. A pre-qualification is you told me how much you make and how much money you have, and a pre-approval, I validated that with actual documentation to prove that everything you told me is accurate.
Great. So in other words, the pre-approval is definitely more powerful when you're offering on a home to really see the big picture.
Exactly. If you're going to write a pre-approval or an offer to buy a house, you're going to want a pre-approval in hand. A pre-qualification is just a guess.
Gotcha. So this is another good question here that we get asked quite often, but how long does the mortgage approval process take?
That's also very nuanced depending on your situation. Very simple loans, pre-approvals can be done in an hour or less. They're very quick. Things can get more complex and require a lot more documentation once we get into the nuts and bolts of things, and you can be talking about a couple of days to a week depending on how long it takes you to get all that documentation together.
Okay. And you brought up documents. What documents do I need to provide to you?
Yeah, definitely. So documents can vary from your bank statements, your tax returns, your pay stubs. It really depends on your specific situation and where all of your different factors are coming from. You can really expect anything involving your financial life. We're going to ask to see at least a statement or two to analyze and see what we're looking at. Awesome.
So as I've gotten this pre-approval, I'm going, can I lock in an interest rate with you, Bill?
So pre-approvals, we typically can't lock in interest rates. It's once you go under contract and we're tracking along with what your interest rate's going to be. And we start to look at when to lock your loan based on what the market's doing and try and get you the best rate available.
Okay. Another one where it needs a little bit more detail to really know for each individual.
Exactly.
Okay. So the final question I have for you, how does my credit score affect my loan options?
Yeah, definitely. Typically, the higher your credit score, the more loan options you have available to you. As you start to see a little bit lower credit scores, maybe you have a history like a lot of us, or you're just working on getting things built back up, you still have options. They just might have a little bit more restrictions on the loan type, like getting an FHA loan really comes into play. Once you drop below about a 660, once you clear that mark, you start looking at conventional loan options as well, but we really fit the loan product to who it is and what's going to suit them the best.
Nice. Well, Bill, thanks so much for joining us today. This is great information. I hope this helps you guys. We are attempting to get all that information out there and be the resource with all your real estate questions. Have a great day.